I got to play Battlefield early. Let's talk about it. So Battlefield 2042 has been going through a really weird phase. The hype was off the charts with minimal information, long enough for people to kind of question, hey, what's this game actually like? And a delay that has sent the internet into a frenzy with speculations of unfinished game or dead on arrival or repeating the same mistakes of Battlefield 5. I'm here to tell you that the game is really fun, but I don't think it's up to the quality standard that DICE was known for a decade ago. I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in this video and give my thoughts on the current state of Battlefield 2042. Like the video and subscribe for more Battlefield content, and as a side note, my new merch drop just went live this morning, so if you guys like the content and want to pick up a t-shirt or a hoodie to support the channel, you can click the link down below. Battlefield 2042 is fun. The map we are all playing in this beta is called Orbital, the one with the rocket ship from all the marketing material that we've seen thus far. It's a huge map, with some points on this map kind of sitting over 500 meters away in some instances. The point of conquest this time around is controlling the entire sector to drain tickets, so if you own C1 but not C2, nothing's really happening for your team. So it splits this huge battlefield into smaller, more controlled skirmishes. I like the game mode as a whole, but just know that vehicles are now more prevalent than ever. It was nice actually seeing Osprey transport runs happening within some of my games. An Osprey would go on the top of B or D and actually drop players out. It felt like I was playing squad at times, the way the teamwork was actually happening. Now, when the game comes out, I don't expect that level of cooperation, but we'll see. The build we're playing on is a couple of months old at this point, and the developers assured us in a press briefing before our game time that a lot of progress has already been made since this build was created. I will say that the first game you jump into after starting up the game, at least from my experience, was a mess. Guns not loading in, FPS drops galore, and textures just non-existent. But after about 45 seconds to a minute, this is running on an SSD, the game finally hits stable conditions, and the game is on. Obviously, this is a beta, and I think that that's something they can do. Now, visually, I think the game looks great. Each map has different weather effects that change the visibility and the course of battle. You have sunny days, rainstorms, and yes, the tornado actually is real and only appeared in one of my games, but it was actually jaw-dropping, and I mean that literally. I was making the stankiest face as I drove an ATV in, flew across the map, and I literally ran all the way back just to get sucked back in on foot. It was truly one of the craziest moments I think that I've had in an FPS that I can even remember. The tech on display here is nuts. Fuck it, I'm going. I'm going. Holy fuck, this looks nuts. Alright, I'm going. I'm going. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Wow, dude. That's crazy. Man. The weather effects are fucking nuts. Oh. Whoa. Oh, it's so loud. Oh shit, it's so loud. You. Storm, watch out! I'm going in. Holy fuck. Oh Oh, shit. Oh, my God. This is fucking nuts. Gunplay is another solid here in my opinion. Outside of a few deaths where I felt that bullets weren't hitting where I was aiming, it feels pretty good. Time to kill in some instances felt a little long and spongy, but I'd say around 95% of my firefights were legit and felt good even if I died. Not too quick like you'd see in something like World War III, and not super spongy either. It felt like as close to right as I think you could possibly make it. I mainly ran the assault class with the grappling hook, we'll talk about that in a second, and quickly realized that I needed to use the rocket launcher to deal with some of the vehicles. I'm definitely psyched that I can use the gun that I want, the grappling hook that I want, and then swap out and be able to use the rocket launcher at a moment's notice. This style of loadout system is actually fun as hell. It gives you complete freedom to do whatever you want for your loadout. Now, a lot of concerns in my community came from the grappling hook. People don't want Apex Legends style movement and this arcadey style shit flying around. I'm happy to say that the grappling hook is kind of trash, but in a good, balanced way. You can grapple things and fly up, but it has a very limited range, and only once was I able to grapple onto an enemy helicopter flying by. After you grapple, there's a cooldown to make sure that you can't spam it. It's nice, but I don't think it ruins the experience either. Audio in this game is actually solid. Coming from playing World War III earlier this week, it's a godsend. Hearing explosions and bullets flying by in some of these firefights is actually nuts. Here's a couple of clips just from some firefights that I had throughout my gameplay session so you guys can hear for yourself.
All right, Captain Sector Foxtrot.
Now, Battlefield's core function is great, but I want to discuss now the insane amount of bugs and overall lack of polish that this game has. I know it's a beta test of a build that's a couple of months old, and I know a lot of people are going to scream beta from their rooftops, but I will say this game feels like it needs another 6 months of all hands-on-deck polish to clean up, well, this.
I need medical help. Both sectors are now under our control. I need help here.
Bodies randomly ragdolling all over the place, random HUD elements just overlapping, looking like shit, death animations that randomly throw your body all over the place. The game just feels like if it were releasing in November, we're playing a build from a year ago at this point. Now, they say that a whole bunch of progress has been made. That's great. They also said they were ahead of schedule and then a delay came. I don't really trust them at this point, and I only have this beta build to go off of, but everything about this game feels almost there, if that makes sense. Nothing that I've seen in this beta is going to make me not buy the game and not play the game at launch. I'm actually really excited to see the launch experience and see what they've actually done since this beta build that was apparently created a couple of months ago. But I will say a lot of people jumping into this beta aren't going to be able to look past some of the bugs that they're going to be finding, especially if you're playing on last generation consoles. I don't know what the PS4 and the Xbox One version are going to play like, but I'm actually really scared for those people. Seeing what happened with Cyberpunk last year, seeing that this is now a downgraded experience, you're not going to be playing 128 players on the original PS4 and Xbox One. I don't know how well it's going to run or how good it's going to look, but I know for my PC people and what I experienced, it's definitely rough around the edges in its presentation. The game itself is really really, really enjoyable, and the visuals themselves definitely lend to that next generation experience, but it feels just a little bit undercooked in its overall presentation of the game. Now, one thing I will say is they do offer a no HUD option, which is something that I usually go to. I just dropped a video on World War III playing in no HUD. This game has a no HUD option, but it's almost impossible to play because everybody's running around as the same 4 operators. Now, when the game comes out, there's going to be more operators, but if you actually do take a page out of World War III's book, no HUD doesn't mean shut off absolutely everything. You should still see your teammate markers, you still should see the objective markers, but that's it. The HUD does have a lot of customizable options in this beta, but a lot of the times it just doesn't work. There are times where there's guys down a really dark hallway and there's fucking ammo things that are just like 100 feet away from me popping up in my face, or a teammate that died, 200 feet ahead in a different building outside of the firefight that I'm in right now. His little health icon pops up right in front of an enemy that's in front of me that I'm trying to fight. They got to tweak that stuff a little bit. There's so much shit going on the screen that my go-to is just to turn it off, but this game doesn't lend well to just shutting off the HUD. There needs to be more customization. There needs to be range detection on some of this stuff as well. If a teammate is dead 300 feet away, chances are I'm not going to be rushing to get him. Take it off the screen, or at least kind of drop the opacity so it's not right in my face at all times. Having so many HUD icons on screen at one time has gotten me killed more times than I can count at this point. And I only played for 3.5 hours. It's little things like that that kind of lend to, they definitely focused on like tornado tech and crazy gunplay, which is great, but they left a lot of this other stuff kind of on the wayside, and you can see it starting to creep up now. So it hurts the overall presentation, but what I will say is this is a really, really fun game. If you guys are watching this, chances are I'm live right now playing it on Twitch with the open beta, and I want to do some key giveaways over there as well. So if you guys want to see more gameplay, kind of pick my brain a little bit about my experience and kind of see more, unedited raw gameplay from my perspective, click the link down below. I'm going to be streaming it all week. But to basically summarize my thoughts on everything, the game is very rough around the edges. That being said, I think if they have been polishing this for the last few months and they needed that extra time to get it, this should be a pretty solid experience come launch. If you guys are still on the fence, you play the beta, or you want to just wait and see what happens, I wouldn't pre-order it. I would just wait, chill out, day 1, day 2, see how the game's kind of reviewing, and go from there. I'll be sure to give you guys my updated thoughts after playing more of this open beta, as well as keeping you guys in the loop for everything Battlefield related leading up to and after launch. So if you guys like the content, leave a like on the video. It helps drive it through the algorithm. Subscribe for more FPS Battlefield multiplayer content. My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to pick up a t-shirt if you guys support the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.